Hi everyone, it's your boy Ricky here for Honeybee Stamps. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Today we are going to be making a Halloween card using some products from the latest release, and it's going to be all die cuts and ink blending. So pretty fun, pretty easy, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Before we get started, just a few things. Subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell, leave some comments down below, and send this out to someone who may enjoy it. So let me go ahead and show you the products that we're going to be using today, and we'll get started making the card. All right, so we are going to be using the Too Cute to Spook die. We're going to be using the Sweet and Spooky gem stickers. We're going to be using some black and white paper, some vellum. We are going to be using just the dies from Owlloween. Then we're going to be using all these inks. So let me go ahead and get the desk set up for the first step. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is do something that might look a little scary because we're going to make this piece of paper look a little wild and then pretty afterwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a background here, and I'm going to show you how to make it kind of eerie, spooky, but pretty all at the same time. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the Distress Oxide, black soot, and just the top part, I'm just going to cover it directly to paper, just like that. Then I'm going to take the lightest color, Seedless Preserves, and same thing down at the bottom. And this doesn't have to be perfect. Then we'll take Dusty Concord, same thing. Wilted Violet, and then last, Villainous Potion. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure there is coverage on most of the paper. There we go. All right, so I'm going to let this dry for a moment, and then I'll be back to show you what we're going to do to it additionally to make this look really cool. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and this has dried a bit, and now what we're going to do is make this darker with more black soot. So I know this is going to look scary, but you're just basically going to cover this lightly with black soot. It doesn't need to be solid black. Just cover it up. Not that hard. And you can judge when it should stop, depending on how much you want it to be dark. I would cover up maybe the white areas a little bit, but I think that this is going to be good. We're kind of making like a galaxy background. I don't know if you've guys seen that before, but it's the same concept. We're just using all purples. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to use this little spray bottle here, and we're just going to lightly spritz. Let it chill for a second to lighten up. Might want to put a little more on the black there. And then that is done for the moment. So we're going to set this to the side, let it dry, and then we're going to start working on the next steps. Okay, so for the next step, we are just going to be using some pieces from the Owlloween die set. There is a coordinating stamp set, but we're just using the dies today. And we're going to be using the moon, the tree, and one of the little ghosts. And we are also going to go ahead and cut out the Too Cute to Spook. And I'm going to go ahead and cut all this out on the die cutting machine, and I'll be right back to show you what we're going to do with this. Okay, so we have everything cut out. We're just going to put the tree, the ghost, and the sentiment over to the side, and we are going to work on this moon, which I put a fingerprint on because I'm ridiculous. All right, so we are going to do some just simple blending on this as well. We are going to take, what did I use? I used a brush for that I put away that I cannot find now. So we will just use this one, I believe. I think it was somewhere on my desk, but I lost it. All right, so we are just going to take some Lost Shadow and we're just going to go around the edges of the moon. You know, to give it a little bit of dimension, make it look like a moon. Not for sure how we're going to cover up that little spot. I might try to find a sand eraser to see if I can get that out. Then, just to add a little bit of something, we're just going to use antique linen. We're going to tap it off really good. And then we're just going to lightly go over the moon, just so that it's not like solid white. Kind of looks like the sun may be hitting it, maybe not. And then let me see if I can find the sand eraser really quick. And then we're just going to try to erase this out. Oh, and it looked like it worked mostly. So let's take a little bit of antique linen. There we go. I think I want to put a little bit more Lost Shadow on this. This kind of got a little too yellow for me. So we're just going to put a little bit more gray on there. All right, so I'm going to clean this up and then we'll start on the next step. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is kind of make it look like this moon is glowing on the night sky. So we are going to use some of this white pigment ink, and we are going to use a paper pouncer from Picket Fence Studios. Now, I do want to tell you, if you want to keep this white, this is probably not the best place to do this because it's going to get a little dark because there's black ink on here, right? So just warn you that your paper pouncer might get a stain on it. You can always wash it off, but I just want to tell you that. So we're just going to take some of the white paint or the ink, and we're kind of just going to go around where the moon's going to go. And we don't want it like too heavy. We just want it enough to kind of look like it's glowing, like that. That's perfect. Alrighty. So then what we're going to do is we're going to glue this down to the paper. I need to get a new bottle of glue, you guys. I have one. I'm just stubborn and keep thinking I can pull more and more and more out of this bottle. All right, so we have that down. Perfect. And then the next thing we're going to do is, actually I want to cut this down a little bit. So I'm going to cut this down to probably 4 by 5 and a quarter. Let's see here. I don't want to cut too much of the moon off though, so maybe we'll cut from the top. So we'll cut there. And then do the rest at 5 1/4. That looks good. And then we will cut this down to 4. And I'm going to do it kind of on each side to make sure that the moon is even. I'm crazy like that. Alrighty, and let me clean this white paint up before I get something messy. Now what we're going to do is glue this down onto the card base. There we go. Then we're going to glue the tree down. We're kind of going to do that in front near the base here, kind of like that. And you might want to like fold the branches up a little bit to give it a little bit of texture on, you know, on the card. But, so you don't have to glue all that down, but we're gonna maybe put this like right there. A little more over. There we go. And then this is the sad part. We are going to cut some of the tree off. And it'll be sad for a moment, but that's okay. At least we didn't have to color it or do anything special to it, right? Because that's when it really hurts. Alrighty, so we have that down. Now we are going to glue down the sentiment. And this doesn't have to have glue all over it. Dots are fine because it's very thin and small, so it's kind of hard to keep the base of the glue down onto the paper to make it like a solid line. Okay, and we're gonna stick this about right here. That looks great. Okay, I'm gonna set something heavy on top of this to let it dry and so that it sticks down, and then I'll be right back to do the finishing up of the card. So be right back. Okay, so we have that done. Now it's time to work on the ghost, and we are gonna do a little touch of fancy on him because this card is not sparkly and we need it to be. So we are gonna pull out the Sweet and Spooky gem stickers, and we are gonna give him a little face since we don't have the stamped image. I mean, we could, but I wanted to do this today, just die cuts. So we're gonna give him some purple eyes. There we go. And then we'll just use the black gem sticker as a mouth. Maybe, there we go. All right, so we have, oh, it's a little blurry. Sorry, you guys. There we go. And now what we're gonna do is we are gonna use some clear, I guess foam tape is what they call this. I've had this like, oh my God, I think for like 9 years now since I've been crafting. And I rarely use it because I always forget about it or I just don't make projects that require it. But all I'm gonna do is take a little piece of this and we're gonna stick it behind the ghost. And hopefully it doesn't show too much behind him because we want to prop him up a little bit. Oh, this paper is... My hands are so inky, you guys. I've been working on things. Ugh, annoying. All right, so let's stick this there. And then we'll just stick this guy like right here. Okay, and that's the completed card. I mean, that is so cute. I love it. It's simple. It's not scary. You can give it to a kid. Really easy. It was all die cuts, and it literally took me probably 15 to 17 minutes to make this. You can make it even quicker if you just cut out everything all at once and then just start putting things together. Maybe invite a friend or have a child do it with you too as well. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. Make sure you click the links down below for any of the products that I used today. Yeah, just do a few things. Subscribe to the channel, leave some comments, click that notification bell, and then send this off to someone that likes non-scary Halloween cards. So until next week, I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.